Hello. God bless everybody. Peace be with you. It's Sunday. So this video is about what prison is really like, and I'll just ramble about the main points. Anything that comes up, I'm not really prepared for this video. But I've been to prison. I did 12 months in federal prison. And I did 2 years in county jails. And basically, I would say, like, if you don't stand up for yourself, nobody's going to stand up for you. But if you stand up for yourself and you're brave, you'll, like I was, you'll find that people will just have your back when you go up against people that are way bigger than you. People don't like bullies. That's pretty common. So that's a basic thing. Like, for example, we were in the day room, kind of, never in like the rec room, outside the day room in jail, and everybody was doing dunks to see how high they could get on this little like light against the wall, and I did it, and I got really high, and a taller black guy did it behind me, and he jumped on top of me, and like basically putting his nuts on me and stuff, like slam dunking on me against the wall, and I totally just pushed him down on his back. And he fell down on his back, and he got up and acted like he was going to throw a punch, but I just put my arms up, like, ready to fight, and he didn't fight me. But that guy is actually the guy who stood up for me one time, and then, like, a few days, but the guy, like, we talked, and he was mad, but I explained myself, and I guess he understood kind of why I pushed him down when he slam dunked on me, so he was still proud, and, like, we weren't friends, but the next day or something, a big black guy with dreads said something racist to me, and I immediately, instantly, like, told him, let's go to the room, like, stand up, let's go to the room and fight right now, and I was rushing him, and I was like, come on, bro, let's go to the room, and he was frozen, he didn't know what to do. No one's ever reacted like that to a shit talking. He thought I was going to be weak or something, but then everyone was like, come on, man, go to the room, and he finally snapped out of it and took off his shirt, and he probably weighed at least 200, and I weighed 140. And I got in the room, and he's standing outside my cell, and I have my hands up ready to fight. I'm like, come in the room. And he's like, no. He's like, you come out. And so I came out of the room and went up to him, and he backed up, and he was like, you throw a punch. And I was like, dude, you throw a punch. What are you doing? Like, I just told you to come in the room. So and he basically, like, didn't do anything, and the thing ended. And everyone thought he was really soft for that. But the guy who I pushed down the other day, he had glasses. He was like a pimp, a really pimp-like character. He was about 35. He told me, like, hey, man, he's like, I really respect how you carry yourself as a man. He's like, you might not see me. He's like, but I got your back. He's like, I'll be in the shadows. Like, I got you. And he said something like that to me. That he would have my back in, like, a fight against, like, a bunch of people or bigger people like that guy I was about to fight. Because I probably could have taken the guy, for sure, the big guy, who I told to go in the room, but 99% of people were going to look at us and think that I would just get my ass whooped. But I boxed and stuff. So I was really prepared by Jesus. I boxed when I was 14 and 15 very brutally and, like, very unorthodoxly, but orthodox too. But very savagely. And I've been in like 20, 30, 40 street fights. What else do I have to say about prison? Really, like, one book that's not allowed in prison is The Art of War. But one thing, provocation and quick temper, being easily provoked by insults, that happens a lot. People will talk shit to you in prison and try to get, like, really, like, because they know that you're about to go home or something, and if you get in a fight, you might not go home. So people do that. They'll talk shit and call you names or something, try to get under your skin. That sucks, especially if you go home. Here, 1 second, I have to hang. I'll do that in a second. My story's about when I went to prison. Like, you would want to fight as soon as possible. You'd want to get in a fight with someone bigger than you. There were a few instances where I cut into some people really hard and I was about to fight them, but they got scared or like they apologized. But I did fight one really big guy, a Mexican named Hector. He was a Jehovah's Witness, or like he wanted to be a Jehovah's Witness. And well, I don't know, he was just dissing Christianity and the Trinity, and he knew I was really religious, and he was laughing at me, and I just told him, like, I don't play that, let's go to the bathroom right now, I'm gonna F you up. And we went and fought. He hit me before we went to the bathroom, and I was preaching to him the whole time about Christianity and stuff, and in a calm voice. But we fought, and he was bigger than me. He weighed 210, I weighed 150, and well, he tried to throw me off the balcony, and I was actually just as strong as him. He couldn't pick me up. But he was a little bit stronger, so he got on top of me when we wrestled on the ground. He ground and pounded me once. I hit him once in the face, but then it got broken up because guards saw, because he did it outside the bathroom. I was trying to go in the bathroom, but he punched me before we got to the bathroom. And, well, when guards broke us up, he whipped his head around when I was pushing him away from me with my foot. And he hit his head against the metal bar, and his head started leaking. I immediately saw drops of blood falling on the ground everywhere. And they led me out, but when they let him out, apparently what they told me later was that, like in front of 100 people, they let us out in handcuffs, and cops and stuff knew that we were fighting. I had like a little mark on my face and stuff, but he was bleeding like crazy, and he was cussing and just going off and so angry, and everyone, like when I got back out of the hole, people like thought I was super savage. But that same guy, Hector, he apologized to me, and he said, I understand like why you wanted to fight me, and I'm sorry, and stuff like that. And he became a lot more reverencing of religion and Christianity and respectful. And, well, yeah, fighting is a good thing. They'll try to tell you it's never a good thing, but no, fighting is a good thing sometimes. I've always fought for what's right, and usually the people I fight, 9 times out of 10, apologize and become my friends and respect me. I could just tell more fight stories, because that's what everyone wants to hear. Let's just hear fight stories. Okay, so here are my latest fight stories. I've been in, how I said, 40 street fights, but most of those happened when I was like 15 and 16, 17 and 18, 19, like in college. But since the years of like 21 to now I'm 27, I've only been in like less than 10 fights. And, let me think. Okay, so there was this guy I was friends with. His name was Cody Abigail. He's dead now. I knew him for a whole year in jail. He was about my age. He knew people I knew. He was white. And he was like a GD on probation, a gangster disciple, which is a gang. And but he got in some trouble with the GDs. They switched on him. Something happened. But then he got the forgiveness or something. I don't know what happened, but he died from an overdose. But I fought him after like 10 months because he was like really anti-religious, but we were still friends, even though I'm really Christian. Because I don't hate anybody for like what they believe in. But I don't tolerate disrespect to my religion. He said F Christmas in my cell, and I told him, like, don't say that. Like, I'll punch you right here. Like, and he was like, why don't you go ahead and do it? And I did. I punched him on the chest. And he was I'm 5'10" and 150, 160 right now. And, I look like not, but I have a ninja's body. And, he was about my height, a little fatter than me, probably weighed 170 or something. But, I backed up real quick after I punched him in the stomach, but I barely hit him. And, I fell, and he got on top of me and tried to hit me, but I got back up and we grappled. And I hit him a few times, and he hit me. He was hitting me like that. And then I just went savage mode. I kneed him in the stomach. I headbutted him in the face. And then we broke up. And then we both went at each other as hard as we could with our hardest right hand. And I landed perfectly straight cross on his face. And he missed me, and we backed up. And we did that, repeated it like 2 or 3 times where I just landed a straight punch right on his face and knock his head back. And after the 3rd time or 2nd time of that happening, he looked at me and we looked at each other and were about to do it again. But he just decided fight or flight. He just chose flight, and he ran out of my room. And I had a few cuts on my knuckles from it, from his teeth or something. But a more savage fight. Apparently, he had like a gay sissy bunkie. One of the most evil people I've ever met. And and they did stuff at night or something. That's what the word was. That apparently was true. But man, I believe he definitely got this kid to fight me. This sissy, and this guy he was smaller than me and white, but he like had, I don't know, like a yellow belt in karate or something. He'd been in street fights. He was just horrible. He was ripping up the Bible, trying to fight me. Saying, I'm going to fight you. And he barely placed bets with people that he was going to beat me up in a fight. And I was like, dude, I'm not going to fight you because I try to avoid fighting. I'm a big fighter, but it's not a good thing. Like, you should try to avoid it. And so, but he tried to walk in my room and I stopped. And then we fought right in front of the cameras, in front of the whole pod. And we clashed at each other, and he was rubbing butter on his face and stuff, and he was doing all sorts of weird stuff. And I landed a perfect right cross on him, and he was like, and it landed, oh no, when we first started getting, I wanted to like put him out of commission quickly, or at least weaken him, so I hit his arms with side punches when he was throwing punches, and I hit his arms a few times and hurt him. And he's like, what are you doing? And then we finally went up, and I hit him with a straight cross that clapped really loud, and everyone in the pod was like, whoa! And he was like, you got me. He's like, what do you got? You got some more? Or something like that. And we kept fighting. I was landing every punch. And after like 3 seconds, which is a long time in a fight, he goes and lands, and he gets hit a few times by me, but he doesn't land anything. He instantly lunges towards my penis and balls and tries to grab it. And I catch his wrists at the last second. And then he's like kicking me in the nuts. And I'm holding his wrists with both my hands while he's scrambling, trying to grab my genitals. And I eventually get up behind him. I work him around and get behind him in a headlock. And I'm like, dude, are you done? He's like, I'm done. And then I kind of loosen up a little bit, and he instantly turns around and scratches my hair and like grabs my hair and stuff. And I slam him on the ground. And then I get up, and then he was like, I'm done. And he was done. And but dude, he tried to grab my nuts. That shit's so dangerous. That's such a dangerous thing. That happened in a real fight. Besides that, I was in another fight in prison. Someone who got there, first day there, didn't know me at all, just sized me up and thought they could take me, snatched my tablet out of my hands, and we fought. And I didn't throw a single punch. I just, Steven Seagal blocked all his punches. He was a little bit bigger than me, 20, 30 pounds and black. And, but I didn't throw any punches because I didn't want to get in trouble. But I still got in trouble for fighting because my flurry of arms when I was deflecting his punches looked like fighting. Then there was this guy who was just evil. He had like, he called himself the Beast and stuff, and he sold drugs. And I in prison, you smoke Tunchi, it's called, which is K2, synthetic weed. And I didn't do it for like 6 months, but I had cool people who were doing it, my friends. And I finally tried it, and it felt just like weed. And so I messed with it. It was pretty good. And if you like weed, you would like Tunchi. But you have to be strong-minded. Some people had episodes. A few of my bunkies had episodes on it. But this one guy, Beast, I didn't buy from him. I bought from someone else, and he went to punch me in the bathroom. He was like 60 and white and fat with tattoos everywhere. And I dodged his punch easily and tripped him. He fell down, but I caught him before he fell, and I was like, Beast, we're not doing this. I'm not fighting you. You're too old. And he like got up and tried to throw a punch, and I blocked it with one hand and threw it down. And he threw a second punch, and this one kind of landed, and he finally calmed down. And I was like, Beast, you need to calm down. And everyone was like, well, nothing. I just told him like I'm not gonna fight an old man. People said it was a good thing I did, that he was too old. When I first got there, they called me about that action. Like, hey, about that action. Because I said I was about that action. And this one guy said something to this group of people I wasn't friends with, but I was with, kind of sitting with them. So I took it as an insult. I was like, bro, we're going to the bathroom right now. I'm about that action. Let's go. And across the hallway, I was really loud like that. I got him in the bathroom. He was like, bro, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. He was way bigger than me in black. But he was scared. And people got the gist and kind of started to get scared of me and feared and respected me. Prison, it's just about making friends, being good with people. And you need to make friends. Like, you can't just give in to being angry or sad. You need to enjoy life, even if you're in prison or jail. And I did that. I always enjoyed my life. I wouldn't rather be in prison, but I did enjoy my life in prison a lot. And I had friends. I wasn't in, like, a gang ran unit, but there were gang members in my units, and like my friend was a Rolling 60s Crip. My other bunkie was a Latin King. One of my bunkies was a GD. There were a few Bloods in there I was friends with. Stuff like that. Yeah. And there's a lot of gang stuff. You are gonna get pushed in the gang stuff. I kind of got pushed in the gang. I did a gang handshake with a Latin Count and had to protect him, or protected him, and it was a gang affiliation. I told very few people about it in the years to come. It only happened when I was like 19 in jail for drunk driving, and but I've had a lot of trouble with like GDs and like people who hate on the Latin Counts. Like even though I don't say I'm Latin Count or anything like that, or tell them I have an affiliation, I have had trouble with GDs. Like that GD on probation, Cody, I fought him, and I had trouble with the superior who was like a 1-star general, and I had beef with him. And my GD bunkie in prison, I kind of had beef with too. But I try to get along with all gangs. I think of myself as a missionary disciple for Jesus, especially to gang members. It's a group of people that I get along with, that I have a lot of understanding with. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm sure I could think of more stuff, but that was a pretty good video. I'll end it with a Hail Mary. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.